The plasma storm had torn through Kepler 442b's atmosphere like a cosmic scythe, leaving Commander Marcus Kane stranded on the hostile exoplanet's surface. His emergency beacon crackled with static as he dragged the unconscious woman from the wreckage of her research pod, her biosuit's life support systems failing with each passing second. She was human, or at least appeared to be. Her auburn hair caught the alien sun's crimson light as he carried her to his makeshift shelter, a reinforced cave carved into the planet's crystalline cliffs. The woman's vital signs stabilized under his portable medical scanner, but something was wrong. Her cellular structure showed anomalies he'd never encountered in standard human physiology. "My name is Dr. Elena Vasquez," she whispered when she finally awakened, her dark eyes focusing on his face with an intensity that made his pulse quicken. "I'm a xenobiologist studying the indigenous life forms here." Marcus introduced himself, explaining how he'd found her pod crashed in the valley below. What he didn't mention was the strange compulsion he'd felt to search for survivors, an inexplicable urge that had driven him through the storm despite the danger. Over the following days, they worked together to repair their communication equipment and plot an escape route. Elena proved invaluable, her knowledge of the planet's ecosystem helping them navigate the treacherous terrain. But Marcus noticed changes in himself that defied explanation. His senses had sharpened dramatically. He could detect Elena's scent from across their shelter, an intoxicating mixture of vanilla and ozone that made his thoughts scatter. "The atmospheric composition here is unique," Elena explained one evening as they shared their dwindling rations. "The planet's electromagnetic field interacts with certain rare minerals in the crust, creating a bioactive field that affects neural chemistry." Marcus watched her lips move as she spoke, finding it increasingly difficult to concentrate on her words. A strange heat coursed through his veins, and he noticed Elena fidgeting, her breathing shallow and rapid. "What aren't you telling me?" he asked, his voice rougher than intended. Elena's composure cracked. "The indigenous species here, they're not just affected by the electromagnetic phenomena. They've evolved with it. Every 7 years, the planet's magnetic field reaches peak intensity, triggering a biological imperative in all complex life forms." A mating imperative, Marcus realized, the pieces falling into place. The compulsion to find her, the heightened senses, the growing attraction that felt beyond his control. "I should have told you sooner," Elena continued, her scientific detachment wavering. "The field doesn't just affect native species. Prolonged exposure alters human neurobiology, creating artificial pair bonds with the first compatible individual encountered during the peak cycle." The cave seemed to shrink around them as the implications sank in. Marcus could feel the change accelerating, his rational mind struggling against primal instincts that demanded he claim her as his mate. Across from him, Elena's pupils dilated, her body responding to the same irresistible force. "We can fight it," she whispered, though her voice lacked conviction. "Can we?" Marcus moved closer, drawn by an attraction that transcended mere desire. This was cellular, fundamental, written into his very DNA by an alien world's ancient rhythms. Elena's hand found his, their fingers intertwining as if magnetized. "The bonding process is irreversible," she said softly. "Once it begins, our neurochemistry will be permanently altered. We'll be bound to each other for life." Outside their shelter, Kepler 442b's twin moons reached perfect alignment, their gravitational pull amplifying the planet's magnetic field to unprecedented levels. Marcus felt the last of his resistance crumble as Elena leaned into him, her lips finding his in a kiss that sealed their fate. What had begun as a rescue mission had become something far more profound. The alien world had claimed them both, transforming two strangers into something new, a bonded pair whose connection would transcend the boundaries between species and planets. As the electromagnetic storm reached its crescendo, Marcus and Elena surrendered to forces beyond their understanding, their separate identities dissolving into a shared destiny written in the stars themselves.